Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. How's it going? How's it going? Hey, what's going on, everybody? For Rip the Lip, I'm Ron Thoman. This is Kyle Hervey, and you're watching Over the Cushion, powered by MCM Contracting, serving Lehigh Valley for 33 years, owned and operated by Mark Daniels. The show is all about dirt track racing, covering the news, current events, and talking with different drivers every single week. Huge thanks to our other sponsors, Bodie Marks Racing, the Shop Automotive Detailing, or the shopdetails.com. Smith Fabrication, Stage 1 Modifieds, DH Graphics, Protect Roofing, Nate Freed Racing. If you'd like to be a sponsor on the show as well, please reach out via Facebook Messenger or email me at riptheliptv@gmail.com. We're live every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube, and you can find the full versions of the podcast on those social media platforms. So welcome in, welcome in. How we doing, Kyle?
I'm doing good, Ron. How are you?
You sound tired, my friend.
I am. It has been a long week.
You sound tired. Thank you, Missy Dontonville, for sharing the stream. Appreciate it. But yeah, how was Atlantic City? How do we do?
It could have gone better.
Okay.
Toward the end of the weekend, we finally found some speed. We didn't really make too many changes on the car. It just it's hard. The track changes a lot every time you go out, so it's hard to keep up with what you're doing when you don't know too much what to be doing. But Friday night wasn't terribly memorable. Didn't do a lot, but last night we did pretty well. We were running up front in the heat race, but got shuffled out. And then went in a B main, started sixth, then came back to third twice, 2 or 3 times actually. Had some good run-ins with Ryan Smith and Matt Janish out there in that B main, and came up about 2 feet short. We were trying to pass Janish as we came to the line for the final transfer spot there, but it was pretty fun last night because the track kind of rubbered up top, and a lot of guys were running up there, and I just stuck it to the bottom and putted around, and we were fast.
It's nice when you can actually make multiple lanes, especially on the Coke syrup track, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it really rolled off on the bottom. It's the way they've been prepping the track, it rubbers down a lot up top, and it's pretty slick on the bottom.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
I don't know how that stuff works, but congrats on almost making it. I mean,
Almost.
you're improving, right? You're getting better.
Yeah, we're definitely getting closer to what we need to be.
By next year, you'll be running it most of this season, so you'll have a lot more experience. You'll be ready to take it down. At least make the A main. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, definitely. Man, and the feature was crazy. A lot of the guys who started in the back ran up front by the end of the night because there was a lot of wrecking. I think there were only 13 or 14 cars running at the end, maybe.
Oh my gosh!
So a lot of people dropped out. Yeah, it was almost. It was a pretty busy night for the feature. I didn't really get to watch much of it because I was cleaning all my stuff up and getting ready to pack up. So
yeah. Not too much racing news. I know there's been a lot of late model racing going on.
Yep.
Let's see. Kyle Larson won one of the nights. I forget where it was. I think it's I think it was at the Golden Isle Speedway. I think it's the same one that they've been at for the last couple days. But he won the race, went to tack, came back out, went to go do a big donut, and smashed the front of his car up, so he couldn't even drive it. So that was kind of funny. I'm gonna see if I can find a clip of that. But another one. Ricky Thornton Jr. was leading. Gosh, most of the whole race, I think, and then on the last turn, last lap, I think it was Jonathan Davenport. I forget who it was, but he passed him on the outside. Ricky Thornton was like running on the bottom, just like behind lap traffic, and just like the track was super slick, and man, he ran the top hard. I want to see if I can find a clip of it because it was super, super cool to watch. But I don't know. There's not really too much racing besides the TQ stuff that happened.
Slingshots and Dirt 600s running again at Gamblers Classic.
True. I think somebody that ran like modifieds won the slingshot race, right? I think.
Danny Spellman. Yeah. Yeah, they've been running the indoor stuff for a while. They're always pretty fast. Brett Bieber was up there in the mix, and then when they got into lap traffic, caught up in somebody else's accident, um,
Typical.
and ended up going to the back, and then just pulled off after a couple laps. Um, Simon Egan was back in a indoor car running for Randy, was running second, and then my buddy, one of the cars I work on, Cody Blue, was running third. So really good improvements on that car from the last couple indoor shows to have him run third for us, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and did they re-letter the one card back to the 55? I think I
Uh,
thought I saw like the
yeah, I don't
55
know.
with
They had three cars. Scott was in
the
the
5.
5S.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon. I'm not sure where they got that car that Simon was in. That was like a 42 or something like that, or a 44. I don't remember which. It was like a green
Oh,
car. And then Chris Kurtz was in the 55. Yeah.
the Midge back in action.
Yep.
That dude's still good at running. He's still good
Yeah,
at
man.
it. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, you said the 600s weren't that exciting,
Was
I guess, for the most part.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the feature because it was right before my B main. I could only see so much out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It was pretty single file around the bottom. It was cool watching them in practice. A lot of guys just out there sliding around, having fun.
Hmm.
But I think it was Eric Rudolph that won in one of Tom Fraschetta's cars, which is pretty cool. Timmy Buckalter was in the other one. I think he got third, and
Yeah,
then
they're
Louis
like
Horvath was in second.
interesting. They're like identical cars, right, for the most part.
Yeah, they're pretty cool cars. I'm friends with Tom Frashetta, and I was over at his shop over the summer looking at both of those cars. And they're hypers, older hypers, and they customized a lot of stuff on them. So they're pretty cool cars to look
Oh,
at, and they're always fast. They usually run up at Greenwood Valley wing shows with the son Thomas, and he does pretty good.
that's pretty sweet. I mean, do you think they just have those specifically for this, or do they run them on dirt?
No, they run them at Greenwood.
Oh,
Those are the
okay,
two
okay.
cars. So, like the only person who I think had pretty much a purpose-built pavement car was Kyle Lick. He broke out his the car he used to run as the TQ, and just I guess they had like dirt tire rules. They were running dirt tires, and then there was a ride height rule. I'm not sure what else. So I mean, there was a pavement car basically that he converted to an asphalt car, or it was a pavement car that he converted to a dirt car for that
Yeah.
specific race. So kind of the opposite. And a lot of guys adapt to the dirt cars to go on pavement, but he was doing pretty well. I'm surprised he wasn't further up in the mix. He was back in fourth or fifth or something like that, but he
Hmm.
had been fast all weekend, and just when it came time to run in the feature, he just it didn't have what it took, I guess.
Just didn't have that special sauce, I guess.
Yeah, and he hopped out right after that feature and ran over and was in my B main.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, he came over. We're in staging lanes, and he's making adjustments on his TQ and everything like that after having just run that feature, and then
Oh my
managed to win our
gosh.
B main.
He had to have been freaking exhausted, dude. I'm sure
Yeah,
there's a handful. I saw one dude, a picture of him, still had the mud cake tires. He was just like ripping it sideways, just burning the tires
yeah.
in practice.
Might have been Brandon Hires. I'm not sure how to say the last name. I think that's who you're thinking of.
Yeah, I'm. It feels like that's what it was. So I don't know if you can see the.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna we're gonna watch this real quick because it's super funny, and then we'll get our guest in here and we'll watch some other stuff too. We'll watch the late model thing as well. I just gotta like make it bigger, make it like the normal size it's supposed to be. Flow Racing's great. Flow Racing, you can sponsor the podcast if you really love me. Okay. Yeah.
Add us to
So
the Flow Racing Podcast Network.
Flow Racing Podcast Network. So that's gonna be super sweet. So let's watch this real quick. I don't think there's gonna be any sound because I think there's no sound on it. But yeah, like he comes out like after everybody's done, and he's like, "I'm just gonna rip this donut real quick." It doesn't look that bad, right? But like when you watch it from another angle, like a different angle, like he hits it pretty good. Like he
Yeah,
bops it pretty good. Now
that's
then he can't get it in reverse, and he won't drive straight. But they got the drone out. Yeah, I think he's stuck.
That's funny. He's
I
like
think
trying
he's
to
stuck,
rocket out
dude.
of gear. That's funny, man.
But
Climb out and do it right there.
it's right.
New
Just
victory
like,
lane.
who cares? Look at the
That's
whole
funny.
front end of the car bent up. We'll watch some more late model
Oh,
stuff
he
here in a second. What?
really bent that. That track looks
Welcome
pretty
back,
cool. It
ladies
looks
and
like it
Yeah.
would have been a good race. I didn't get to see any of it. I was watching the
We'll have to do
Rolex.
some. We'll have to do some
Kyle
like
Larson comes back
some
out
like
on the
race
racetrack. Full
in the Discord. We'll have to do some like watch parties or something for certain races.
That'd be
I can
fun.
stream them from my computer, and then whoever joins the Discord channel can watch along with us. That'd be super fun. But let's dive into our guest tonight. Guest is Logan Dontonville. Actually don't know too much about him. I think he only runs at Shellhammers. He ran Chem Karts for quite a while. Has a win in that and a bunch of heat race wins. As far as All Stars, to my knowledge, he in his first like 2 starts he finished in the podium. So I mean that's not an easy task, especially with the competition at Shellhammer. Sorry, I think that's where he mainly runs. I guess this will be more of a learning podcast for us to like get to know a new driver that we don't never talked to before. So that's kind of cool. But let's see if we can get him in here. Logan, can you hear us?
Hey, how we doing?
What's up, Logan?
what's
How we
going on?
doing?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for coming on the show to talk to us today.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I guess we'll just get started, man. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. We really don't know you, and we'd like to get to know more of your racing history and kind of where you're at now. So, like, where'd you end up starting?
So we started actually I started watching a lot of like road racing with carts and stuff like that. And we just bought a beater cart to run around our like our front yard and our cul-de-sac and that. And I finally decided to continue it, and we bought a road cart, and we started racing up in Topton at Orville Kart Club. And from there we went to my champ kart. I started to, I think it was that year we ran our first race on dirt at Shellhammers, and I just got hooked on dirt from there.
They're just the best, man. So, like, tell me about the champ karts. I know nothing about karting. I'm not familiar with them at all. Maybe Kyle is a little bit. I don't know how close they are to quarter midgets or anything like that, but I know the karting scene is pretty big at Snydersville, and I don't know. Do they do the champ karts at Shellhammer still?
Yeah, there's a bunch of, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 like 12 to 15 classes, and then they have a couple senior kart classes there.
Okay, because I know Greenwood Valley, they do all the karts really early, like from noon to whenever, and then what do they do? They go up at night. It's like the 600s and like the 270s and stuff. And like, what is a champ kart? Like, what does it consist of? I don't even know what they look like, to be honest.
So mainly, if you look at a normal like flat kart, it's just a roll cage like slapped on a go-kart, pretty much.
Is it the ones that are running in Atlantic City?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Is that a champ kart?
Those
Yep.
are champs. Yep.
Why are the roll cages so big? I feel like you'd get hurt even if you rolled.
I don't know. I think it has somewhat to do with how the roll cage affects the handling of the chassis, because you have no suspension in a go-kart, so it's a lot about setup. And when you start adding roll cages to stuff, it stiffens up the chassis. So a lot of engineering goes into how the bends in the roll cage and everything go together to let the chassis flex, because there's certain chassis that are banned from running in New Jersey or indoor because of the way they're shaped. Yeah, so that's a champ kart there.
I have one pulled up here. I know
Now up at Greenwood Valley, they don't run champ karts, but they do run caged karts, which is different. It looks the same, but it's a go-kart that the cage just bolts onto the frame. A little weird, but
just bolt it on, baby.
Pretty much.
Now can you like just make your own frames, or do you have to go to a specific chassis builder for these? Because it looks like you can like pretty much do it all yourself if you really want to.
Yeah.
Either
I don't see why
either of
not.
you? No, nothing?
I don't see why not.
I mean, Logan, did you have to buy your chassis, or did you just buy like a race ready car just to get
We
on
got
the track?
we got our 2 carts that we started with
Mm-hmm.
after we got rid of our first one from Jesse Maurer, and he had really good equipment, and we went out and put that good equipment to our advantage and placed pretty good in in a bunch of races with it.
And
What,
are they just like little like Briggs and Stratton like pull string motors?
Um, I think yeah, you can. I think you can run those motors with them, but I forget
Like
what we
what
had.
did you run?
We had a 20 Cadet 2 no L206 when we were at Orville, and we ran. I forget what the motor was when we ran it. Shell hammers with it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of different kinds of motors. I think I don't. Again, I don't know much about karting. If we ever get Alex Greenwing on here,
Yeah.
he'll
fill us in.
He's the Snydersville promoter.
Yeah.
He's the expert on this.
And
cast.
Orville.
What is it?
And Oroville, which is the road course that Logan was talking about. They,
really?
They promote both of them. Yep.
Oh, no way. I saw him at the motorsport show. That was super cool. He was like, I saw him, I said hi, but he was like speed walking, like, like
Yeah,
handing out.
sounds
I think
about
he was
right.
like putting his schedules like on different tables and stuff. I think he's running around. But so yeah.
I can picture it.
Yeah, he's always moving, doing something. Okay, so we started in champ carts. We win a bunch of heats, get a feature win. What made you decide to move to slingshots?
So it was more competition based. Like we got just us, me and my dad we normally show up to the track every weekend. We sort of just got a little not tired of running with pretty much the same people every weekend, but like I wanted more experience and more like visibility and stuff like that, because I wanted to keep going. Like
Yeah.
This is something that I want to pursue, something I want to like make it up to like the top, make it up to like top ranks of dirt racing.
Sure.
So we bought our slingshot off of Josh Landers. He's up in New York, somewhere
Okay.
up in New York.
I know there's a lot of New York drivers. There's a ton of slingshot drivers I don't know, because either they're way down by Shellhammers where you guys are, or they're way up in New York, like Glen Ridge and some of the bigger tracks, like where Brett Putnam's from. I think.
Yeah.
Up around there. But what do you think about the slingshot class now you've been in it for how long you been running them? 1 or 2 years?
Probably a year and a half, because
Yeah.
we start probably mid September, early October of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and we ran all this past season with it.
Cool. So like, what do you think of the class, and how did I guess did Champ Carts help you at all moving into this class? I know this is I say this I'm like a broken record, because I always repeat myself when I say that the slingshot class is very difficult, even though some people make it look not difficult. But just I think it's super hard, and I think it's something super niche and hard for people to kind of jump into if they haven't been running anything, or they're running like a completely different cart, like a champ cart like you. So what was your experience moving into this highly competitive class, especially on that little short track at Shellhammers?
So going into the first junior race, I was obviously nervous. We went out for our first practice, and as soon as the green dropped, I looked good. So that was a good start for our first flight. So we went out for the heat race, started in fourth maybe, and we finished in fourth.
Well,
So that lined up for seventh in the feature. And missed a couple accidents and drove all the way up to third and stayed there for like the last 5 or 6 laps, and we ended up finishing there.
That's super cool. Like, just to jump in a brand new car that you never drove before that has, I'm sure, a bunch more power and all the stuff that comes with like a more full size car than the kart is extremely impressive. I know from my experience, it took a while. Again, I didn't race anything beforehand, but yeah, I know some people it takes them a couple weeks to get really acclimated to it. Is there anything specific about it that like kind of clicked with you?
I think it was just more of using what I learned in the champ cart, moving up to the slingshot. So like very minimal wheel movements most of the time, and using a lot of like throttle input going through the corners too it helped me out a lot.
Yeah, definitely the minimum wheel movement, because that's a big one. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it's going to transfer over. I think one of the biggest things that I hear from a lot of people going from go-karts or champ karts to slingshot is getting used to having actual suspension underneath you, because the car is going to drive a little bit differently.
Did you feel any difference from the champ car to, having 4 shocks on the car?
Yeah, that definitely. As soon as hot lap started going in the first corner, I definitely felt like that.
The whole body,
Like,
like everything kind of roll over.
Chassis roll, yeah.
yeah,
That's gotta be something different, man. Especially since you want to move up. The higher up you go, the more it rolls, and especially
yeah,
if you get to like modifieds are pretty squishy, and everything's the left side panhard now, so everything's really like heavy on the right rear. Even
Yeah.
like late models and stuff, those things, I don't even know what kind of rear ends they have, but they like suck underneath the door.
If
Like, I
you
don't know.
look,
What
if
is
you
that?
look underneath of a late model, your head will start hurting, because there's about 6 shocks. There's at least, oh man, it's wild. I can't even describe it, because they have like spring rod arms, and then they have the dude. I can't even describe it. It's wild to look at the suspension setup in a rear of a late model. It's so cool.
That is cool. We had a good question in the chat real quick for you, Logan. Mason Questner wants to know what your favorite track to race in a slingshot is.
oh,
Well, how
so
many
maybe
tracks? Yeah, how many tracks have you driven on so far?
so just with the slingshot, we've been to Shellhammer's, Action Track. We went to Hamlin midway through the year, and Snydersville for most of the year too. So if I had to pick, it would probably be Snydersville.
Why is that your favorite?
Yeah.
It was
Why?
just the former racing there. Like, it was short track racing, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of like you have to be in the position to make a move for a spot. It just fit my driving style.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like Snydersville as well. It's always tough. It's always fun. I started out in the slingshot there and ran a bunch of seasons there.
I've only been there twice for the Thunder and the Ville, and it's pretty wild how fast they go on that little track. They're really hauling, dude. They're hauling. It's pretty wild. I think someone just
There was a race there. Oh, I don't even know what year. A while ago at this point, but it had rained all day and the track got super wet and slick, and we ended up. There's a photo of us 4 wide down the backstretch at Snydersville. Picture that.
4 wide.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was leading, and I didn't know we were 4 wide, but I was running the fence because that was the only place I could find any grip, because the bottom was so
Oh, this is a
hard
big
pack and
video.
slick. Got a video of shell hammers going on here.
Yeah, I think this is from someone posted this in the chat. I think it was your racing channel. Let's back it up here. I think it starts. Hey, look at Jack's on the pole.
Yeah.
I only recognize like a few cars. Again, I don't go down there very often. I only live like 2 miles from Hamlin Speedway, so that's kind of my main deal. But yeah, you're really getting into it right there. Is this pretty recent? Is this from this past season?
Yes, this was my first all-star start. This was the first race of the season this past year.
Yeah, whoever's in front of you is sparking. I think it's their brakes. I
Yeah.
don't know who it was, but yeah, they're sparking pretty good. But yeah, like this is your first all-star race. So did you run juniors before this?
Yes, we ran one race at Shellhammers. It was the last race of the year, and in juniors. That was the only time I got to race juniors at Shelley's.
Gotcha. Now, I guess that was a pretty quick decision just to be like, let's just put the 2-barrel on and go all-star racing, because that's obviously where the competition is, and you seem extremely competitive, so you want to get up in there and run with the best and get better.
Yeah.
Now, have you raced against Brett Bieber or any of the other top guys too much? Ooh.
I ran with Brett a few times I think 2 or 3 times at Action Track, and when he came up for the Reading Fairgrounds race at Skellhammers back in August, I ran with him.
How'd you like running against someone that almost has 200 wins in the class?
wasn't up competitive with him, but it was cool. It was cool running with some big people like that.
Yeah, definitely. And Brett's like the nicest guy ever. So if you have questions, I'm sure he'd answer them, and he'd be super nice about it. You know, I know some people would like to be very secretive about their stuff in slingshots because it's so close. You got to do such small, minute adjustments. But definitely, if you can pick his brain at all, you should definitely go chat with him a little bit, because he's just a really great guy, wealth of knowledge. I mean, the stats kind of speak for themselves. I think that's the end of the video there. So is that one that you finished around, what, second or third?
Yeah, we jumped up to second. Right, it was a last lap pass right in the second right here.
Oh yeah, hold on, back up. So you're, where are we at right now? This is what, white flag?
That was the checkered right there.
Oh, that was, dang it. I'm really good at this. I'm really good at this.
Come on, man, you're the video guy.
I'm the video guy. So you're opening your entry a bit, trying to get underneath him. Got the run. Excuse me. Oh, block the bottom a little bit.
Clean.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so we got another question from the chat here. This is great. I like when we get some chatters in here and talking and stuff. That's great. So he says, what is one goal you have in racing?
If I had one goal, it would probably, I don't know.
Maybe how about a goal that you want to achieve within the next 3 to 5 years?
I'd say this year, I mean, it's our first time in the new car this year. I'd say maybe this year at least maybe get a win, at least one win.
Yeah.
This year would be very cool. Would be very cool.
That would be sick. That would be super sick. The first wins are probably always the best, and
yeah,
hopefully you're racing somewhere they give you trophies and stuff. So do you plan on going to all these tracks again? I know you said you were at Hamlin, and I think I remember seeing the car. I'm not sure. I'm sure you're in the video. That's, whatever day that you came down. I try to make sure I get everybody at least one lap. That's kind of my philosophy, I guess, behind filming, is if there's a battle, focus on that. But if everyone kind of spreads out, everyone gets a lap at least. Just to give, everybody has sponsors and all sorts of stuff, so you want to do that. But yeah, how was your experience at Hamlin? Because it's my favorite track. I live really close to it. I'd love to, own it or promote it in the future. I don't know if Denise and Randy will ever not promote it, but that's kind of where I'm at. So it's my favorite track. So I just want to get your 2 cents on your race up there.
It was definitely a nice track. I loved the scenery up there. Loved the view.
Mm-hmm.
Went out for practice, and I was not we were good. I wasn't used to running at wasn't used to running at like track conditions like that. Because from what I heard, it got pretty. It normally gets pretty muddy for hot laps there.
Oh yeah.
And went through the heat race, started second. We had a little run-in with a couple other drivers, but ended up. I think we finished last, but went out for the feature. Started outside of the top 10, probably like 15th to 12th, give or take, and went up to what felt like hours long of a race. Missed a bunch of accidents.
What day did you come up? And did you run the All-Stars or the juniors?
Oh boy. Sometime in July, one of the July races, we ran with the All-Stars.
Okay. Yeah, because juniors All-Stars, the slingshot competition there is pretty strong competition, and they're there to win. They ain't there to mess around. I think everybody's there to, there's not much. There's fun if you're winning. You know what I mean? Everyone's there for sure to win. So if you want competition, that's the place to do it. Oh, yeah, Nate Freed in the comments said that was the night Lydia flipped. Well, tell me the date and I'll take a look at the video. But dude, I don't know if were you in that heat where Lydia flipped? The orange 5 car? Yeah, Kyle, I don't know if you've seen the video.
Sounds familiar. I can't remember
she was running
I think I've watched it.
She was running second. I think it's on Nate's TikTok or something like that. But like she's running second and gets clipped and does a complete endo going into 3. Gets the car, like the whole thing's just crumbled. She gets it starts in the back and like drives up to second.
In the heat I think I remember watching it. That's funny, man.
That was wild. But yeah, the track is it's interesting because it's a very unusual track, and Kyle's ran it a lot, but it's got 3 and 4 is a big sweeping long turn, and then 1 and 2 is kind of a short like hairpin turn, so that kind of it makes it very unique. I know Randy's worked his butt off this last season and made it like they put new clay down, even though it kept getting dusted off here and there, but it made for a really smooth racing surface. And the whole mud thing is unfortunate because they get the track ready to run in, and then they don't have any of the the 600s excels or sprints out there to do it. They have the slingshots for whatever reason. That's just kind of how they did it for however long. And I think they should have anybody that has a Hoosier should be out there packing the track and not a go-kart tire or a golf
we
cart
just
tire.
tear it up. We just tear it up with those tires. There's so much wheel spin in the stuff. The slingshots don't have that much wheel spin.
Well, no, you don't have to run laps. I mean,
yes, we do. Gotta go fast, Ron. Gotta go fast.
It's just packing. Everybody to pack in, or you're starting last in your heat. All right.
That's okay.
That's what we're
me.
doing.
I'll keep it clean. We'll start last. I don't want
like
that.
Your
mud.
one
That's
right rear is like 2.5 of a slingshot tire, almost 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Nate says it was July 23rd.
All right. Well, I'll see if I can find that one.
I don't know how he found that so fast, but
he had
thanks,
that locked and loaded, man.
We have Nate Freed tonight in chat on analytics.
Very good, very good. He's going to be our production manager here in the next couple weeks.
He's the fact checker. Yeah. Producer Freed.
Exactly. Logan, what's the plans for next year, man? Like what tracks are you going to run regular? What tracks are you going to... I know Shellhammers does the whole Wednesday and Saturday thing for whatever reason, but I think is it the Wednesday where they get more cars as far as slingshots?
Yeah, Wednesdays are packed.
Are they?
Yeah.
I've only been there once, and I got like claustrophobic in their pits, so I was like having an anxiety attack, and it was just a normal night for them.
Oh man. Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
What's the plan for this 2023 season for you?
So we're gonna try and run for primarily gonna run Wednesdays at Shellhammers with the micro, and probably.
But you have a micro?
Yeah.
What? Okay, wait. You keep going, and then we'll circle back. We'll circle back to the micro.
Probably gonna try out Linda's a few times this year. I've been wanting to go up to Linda a lot.
That would be cool. That's a fast track,
and probably Lenko.
Now, are you planning on just running the micro at those tracks, or are you gonna run the slingshot as well?
No, we don't have, we just have the micro now. We got rid of the
Oh, you
sling.
got rid of the slingshot.
Oh,
Okay.
so we're not
Cool.
even. We're like, oh, I've been like talking like we're gonna be running slingers next year, man. We said no, screw that stuff. We're not. We're moving on up, man. Have you? So have you? Have you driven the micro at all? Besides,
No, we
like
just
in your backyard.
no, we haven't yet. We got it back in probably early mid-October.
Okay.
What
So,
what kind of car is it?
We got a 125.
Okay.
oh wait, so it's a two-stroke.
Yeah.
Oh, when you said micro, I was like, we're getting a hyper, we're going 600 racing. Okay, so I don't think there's a lot of places that run them besides, like you said, there's. Oh yeah, because those three tracks, Shellhammers, Linda's, and who else runs?
Lanco.
Blanco runs those. I can't even make
The
words up.
125s.
The one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle.
So
Everyone.
what made you decide to go from the slingshot to the 125?
So I want to start hopefully in a couple years getting up to like the sprint car ranks and stuff like that. So I just wanted to start off early, sort of, and just I've been itching to get into a micro too.
Yeah.
After I've like watched a bunch of the racing at Shellhammers and Hamlin and Action Track and stuff like that, just got me the itch.
So why choose to go with like a 125 versus a 270 or a full 600?
So the 600, I don't think I'm quite ready for something like that yet. Maybe in 2 or 3 years. We just decided to start out like just at the bottom for 125 for now, and see how this year goes. Maybe just progress up through the next couple years.
Yeah. I don't know. I see a lot of younger kids just jumping straight into the 600s and actually doing pretty well with it. I mean, it's going to end up being about who you know to help you out with setup and teach you and everything like that.
Yeah.
True. It's also going to be like triple the price, I'm sure,
Oh yeah.
to get into a 600. I mean, just the engine alone with the injections probably like the cost of a race ready 125.
Yeah.
I can only
Well, you
assume. I
need
don't
a
know.
crazy injection.
Yeah, but the the 125 engine is basically just like a dirt bike motor.
Yeah.
Okay, so like as long as you don't blow the top end on it, then you can run it for probably a whole season, right?
Yeah.
It's significantly easier to rebuild yourself if you'd like as well.
I think who did I talk to? Glenn McCumber used to run the 270 at Hamlin.
I grew
think-
up racing with him in quarter midgets.
He runs. Where does he run? GVAT.
Yep.
I forget where else, but I think I saw him at Motorsport Show
So,
too. But he still
Track
runs the
champion at GVAT in 270 last year, I think.
I
Or the
think
year before.
he was.
What, I
He
think-
was either champion or really close. Because
No, I think he was.
you think so?
I think he was. Yeah.
All right,
in
well,
270.
Nate, the fact checker, please tell me in.
Yeah.
Do your.
Nate, pull up when Glenn Maycomber was the track champion at GVAT, please. Thanks.
Because when I talked to him about it years ago, he said like the 270s are pretty easy to work on, and they can last. With good maintenance, you can last for quite a while.
Yep.
So
The thing about
kinda
those two-stroke motors is you end up burning up a lot of stuff in the motor.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of made to race, right? Like with the dirt bikes and stuff, but
Yeah.
still they're pretty rough, I think.
Yeah.
Now, are you gonna just stay in the 125 this season and then go to 270 next season and then the 600? Like, are we just doing it one season per division?
Oh, we'll see how this year goes.
Sure.
Obviously, it's getting used to a new car, and I've never shifted a car before, so
True.
just see how this year goes and just progress from there.
It sounds like you just gotta hold it, like you shift it and then you're just hammered down the whole time. At least when I watched the 270s, like I think Richie Hitler? No,
Hitzler.
Hitler. Sorry. Hitzler, yeah. He runs the wingless 270 at Shellhammers, and he was wicked fast. like wicked fast. But are the 125s winged or wingless?
They're it's either or.
Either
They
or.
they have a couple tracks that run. I think Lenko does here and there. They run with the wings on.
Okay.
Shellhammer, they primarily run wingless on the Wednesday shows.
Oh yeah, it's wingless Wednesdays. Yeah, so I guess we'll see if you like winged or non-winged. Because I guess if you like the winged stuff, you can do the winged 125s, winged 270s, and then winged 600s. Like you can just, be a perfect or like a aficionado in the winged. And then when you get to the big cars, 360s, you can just bring all that knowledge up with you, hopefully.
Yeah.
Rena Davis wants to know who inspired you to race.
Um, After watching a lot of like NASCAR and stuff like that a while, I've followed Kyle Larson since I've pretty much started racing.
Mm-hmm.
I, just the way how he is now, and like with everything that happened the last couple of years, he's been my inspiration. I really look up to Larson.
That's definitely a good person to look up to because that dude is crazy. Anything he gets into, he's just super fast. So hopefully you can just follow in the footsteps and be super fast and everything, right?
I hope so.
Mason wants to know what's your favorite pit moment and what was your favorite moment from this past season?
Probably my favorite moment was from this year was the beginning of the year at Shellhammer's or second place run. It was it definitely blew my mind. So we were all in shock. It was very.
Well, just being able to compete and run up front with those guys. I know the leader kind of checked out. It looks like, but just being in contention in your first race.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a good confidence booster, man. Like, just in general, be like, okay, I think we can do this. I think we can if we, work on it a little more. I think we got this.
Yeah, it definitely did throughout the year after that.
Was there any specific reason to jump right up to 125? I'm not sure like the speeds are crazy different, but like, or do you like sprint cars more than like the full size cars? Because I know some people go from like junior sprint cars up to like 602 crates, like the modifieds and stuff, which I guess is more north than anything. But are you just more into the I guess the sprint car world than the modified world?
Yeah, I got very interested in the whole like modified scene once I started getting into the slingshots, but I finally decided this year that I wanted to just go the sprint car route.
Gotcha. So we're just gonna leave the slingshot behind, and we're just focusing on sprint cars only from now on.
Yep.
Maybe in a couple years we can watch it Williams Grove with the posse or something.
I hope so.
That would be so sick. I'll be like, I talked to him on my podcast. I talked to him. All right, man. These questions are rolling in, dude. Mason and Rhea Davis. Thank you guys for posting some questions. What is your favorite of racing, and what make racing so special to you? That's a tough one to read. But what makes racing so special to you, and kind of, I guess, is it your competitive nature, or is there something else?
It's more just the people. Like you meet pretty much new people every weekend, anywhere you go. Just new people, new friends, new faces. Yeah, especially the competition too. I'm a very competitive person when it comes to anything. So
Yeah, I think you definitely have to be just to have that drive to win and drive to get better, because there's a lot of lows in racing, I think, more than highs.
yeah,
So being able to, handle those and build on that kind of helps you in racing and out of racing, I believe. So that's just something I think for sure. But I mean, that's just, I don't know, just kind of rambling at this point. But is there anything like outside of racing that you do, or is it just is it kind of we're in the full on racing 24/7 365 now?
That's pretty much it.
No other sports, nothing extracurricular on the off season, or are you just working on the car all the time?
I've been looking at getting into like some school sports and stuff like that, but I haven't bothered with it too much lately. I've just been racing.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how old are you, and like are you still in school?
Yeah, I'm 15.
Holy crap, you're a baby. I'm 34 now, so I feel super old in this conversation. But so now you're 15. You're probably sophomore, junior, probably sophomore. But any chance that you'd go to like a tech school maybe to like, so say you couldn't drive, or like you didn't have the funding to go up higher, would you consider trying to maybe look for a career in racing, as far as like anything that encompasses racing besides the driving aspect of it?
If we have a tech school, I didn't get to make it in. I didn't get to make it in this year, but
Mm-hmm.
next school year I'm definitely going to try and see if I can get into the automotive side.
Now there's more to the racing, not community, but racing as a whole is more than just automotive. So like you could do like sales or promotions or graphic design or video, or there's tons of different stuff. But is automotive kind of fit your wheelhouse as far as like working on the car constantly, and that seems more in line with what you'd possibly like to do?
Yeah, I enjoy being out with my dad and working out and just working on the car, just
Yeah.
spending however many hours outside, just
I can't
putting
imagine the amount of time you guys spend on your race cars. I really can't.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a full-time job when it's a hobby. Oh man, Kyle, you got anything to add here?
No, I was just going back through, looking at the comments, making sure we didn't miss anything.
Make sure we didn't miss anything.
Had a lot of commenters today.
That's super cool. Let's do this again next week and the week after. I want lots of
Everybody
questions.
come back. Lots of questions.
Oh, Lydia popped up in the chat. She said a little late, but that was a very interesting day at Hamlin.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
Lydia, your mom was about to fight some people. She was ready to throw down. It was like everyone's like, nope, everyone back up.
Logan, did you have anybody else in your family that raced at any point?
No, I'm the only one for right now.
Oh, so you're a first generation racer at this point.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Holy cow. You don't then I can't tell if it's like becoming more normal or if it's still like kind of a outlier. You know what I mean? Because usually it's like my grandfather, my great grandfather raced, and then skip 2 generations, and then I started racing.
I think it's a pretty good split. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are first gen racers, but like much like me, their parents, worked on vehicles or something, so had some sort of background. A lot of drag racing parents that did it for fun, bracket racing and stuff, getting their kids into dirt oval racing or pavement racing. But then you also just have the generational families that have been racing forever.
Yes, sir. I think we have one more question from Mason. Mason's been hammering us with the questions. I love it. Thank you so much. Who is your favorite person to race against? Like, if you see someone pull in, you're like, yes, this is going to be a good night.
Oh, I'd say it's Shelly's. Maybe I haven't been up with him a lot this year, but pretty much I'd say Jax.
Jax, you own one?
Yeah.
Jack seems like a nice kid. I only talked to him like once. His dad's super cool.
Yeah.
Another one that I've been watching race since he was a little kid. He started out in go-karts and made his way up.
I think he wants to go to the big cars, like a crate or something. I think it's hard to tell.
The last couple of years.
What?
In the slingshot. Jax has been really fast the last couple of years in the slingshot.
It seems like he's starting to be up front more and more. So
Yep,
have to keep an eye on him. And
he was that number 24.
Yep, that purple number 24. Very nice, very nice. All right, man. So we're winding. Oh, hold on. Wait, we got one more. Who's your favorite person on your pit crew and why?
I have a feeling I know who that was from.
Besides your dad. His dad is number one.
He's been filling the questions in the chat so far. Definitely Mason. He's been coming through with us to a bunch of races this past season.
That's awesome. It's
Definitely
nice. Oh, good.
Definitely lifted the mood when before and after the race. Definitely lifted some moods.
Very nice. It's good to have at least a couple people there to either help out or just like lift the move, or some good vibes going into the feature or something like that. Just it makes a big difference, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're winding down here a little bit. It's been super fun, almost an hour here. Do you have anybody in the pits, anybody on the car that you want to thank, any of the sponsors, if you want to list them out? You want to kind of shout out any of your, Facebook channels, Instagram, whatever you got going on. The floor is yours.
Right now, I just want to thank both my parents. I don't know how they do any of this for me, but they're definitely the best. I have great parents, great support, friends and family. Whoever's in here, please go give our racing page a follow. That'd be great.
I think
Follow
it was
along.
linked. Dontonville Racing was higher up in the chat, so if you scroll up in the chat, you'll see Dontonville Racing. They have a link to one of the races that we watched earlier. So if you want to click on that, hit the follow, like the whole shebang. Engagement's super important on any platform. So hitting the like button, hitting a comment, that's a big deal for sure.
It's going crazy. I just saw like 300 different things pop up.
It's everything's compiled at the last last couple minutes for sure.
There you go.
But yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on. I know you asked me like 2 weeks ago or a week? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I'm glad that you reached out, because I had you on my list, but like I'm so busy with all my kids and all this other stuff going on, like I'm very forgetful. So I very much appreciate you reaching out to me and being like, "Hey, put me on your show." And I was like, "Yes, please, let's go." But yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to us for the last hour or something on your racing career and kind of what the future is going to hold. I'll definitely make sure I try to get down to Shellhammers this year at least once. Now, are you going to race Wednesdays or both days, or just the wingless Wednesdays?
Gotta race Wednesdays.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it's Saturdays is go-karts and slingshots only there, so
crazy.
Wednesday's more fun.
All right, if I ever I'll have to make it down there. It's a weird day, and it's like around 2 hours
prepared
away
to
from
park a mile away.
Last time when I went for Speed Weeks, I parked right by that little bridge that goes to where the sign-in shack is.
Last time I was down there over the summer helping Donaldson out, I was parked a mile up the street. I was basically in the next town over, and it was a 15-minute walk to the track.
I drove a Toyota Yaris, and I just shoved it in somewhere, and I was good to go, baby.
Lucky you.
I know. I'm so lucky. But Logan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, man. I really wish you the best in your season coming up and your new race car. Definitely make sure to send me some pictures of it when it's done getting lettered and stuff.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was good to get to know you, and I look forward to seeing you around at some of these tracks in the coming seasons, and maybe one day we'll be racing together.
Yeah,
just got to make your way up to the 600s. Then you can smoke Kyle.
Yeah.
Rachel Biglin said, "Go Logan." Yeah, go Logan. Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with us and talking. Thanks for everybody that watched and commented. I really appreciate it, because the comments are super fun, and being able to ask questions to our guests and to us is, something I've very much anticipated on this show. So much appreciated to Mason, Rena, Lydia, Nate, I guess Rachel now. But thanks for everybody watching. Make sure to like the channel, like the stream, comment, engagement is so key to helping this channel grow and help us get more and more eyes on us to, progress and get more great drivers on here like Logan. So very much appreciate everybody watching. Again, we're live every Sunday at 8 p.m. If you want to be part of the show and be a guest, please message me on Facebook or on riptheliptv@gmail.com if you want to be a sponsor or know somebody that wants to sponsor the show. Again, the same messenger and Gmail. So appreciate everybody for watching. We'll be live next week at 8 p.m. and you'll see some posts this week on the guests. So